We're still waiting on another State of Decay 3 update. The next entry in the zombie survival action-adventure series has been in the works for quite some time now, with it first officially getting revealed with a cinematic trailer back in 2020. We then at long last got a look at the upcoming Xbox Series X game during Xbox Game Studios' 2024 showcase, which gave us a better idea of how it's shaping up. And while many were hopeful that we'd get to see a fresh trailer or some kind of announcement as part of the Xbox Games showcase during the Summer Game Fest Live 2025 season, it didn't make an appearance. News then sadly followed. That brought to light reports of more mass layoffs at Xbox, which has seen the cancellation of projects including Everwild and Perfect Dark. It still remains unclear as to how much of an impact this had on developer UNDEAD Labs, but it seems State of Decay 3 is still very much on the way. State of Decay 3 is currently one of the most eagerly awaited first-party Xbox titles, but it has been in development for a while, and fans have not been receiving much official information about it. State of Decay 3 is set to be the third entry in the franchise, which started in 2013. Originally, State of Decay 3 was announced in 2020, but it seems that its development has had many challenges since then, and the game suffered from delays and changes, including switching to Unreal Engine. Last year, State of Decay 3 finally received a new trailer after 4 years of complete silence, giving fans high expectations that the game could be out soon. However, it still does not have an official release window. Now, Windows Central reporter Jez Corden has hinted during the Xbox 2 podcast that he believes State of Decay 3 will be out in 2026. According to the journalist, Microsoft was originally considering State of Decay 3's release for 2025, but the title has been delayed once more. Because of this, he believes that the game will be released early in 2026. Overall, it's a theory that makes sense, especially considering that it would not make sense to unveil the State of Decay 3's trailer during the 2024 Xbox showcase unless there were plans to launch the title soon. While none of this is official information, Corden is generally reliable and has been insisting on this possible release date for a while. Last year, Corden had already talked about the release date for State of Decay 3. At the time, he claimed that State of Decay 3 would be delayed, being pushed to 2026 instead of Microsoft's initial goal of releasing in 2025. At the moment, State of Decay 3 is being developed by 3 Xbox studios. Aside from main developer UNDEAD Labs, reports from 2024 indicate that both the Coalition and Obsidian Entertainment have been helping out with the open-world zombie game. According to these reports, the 2 additional studios were helping out to deepen the combat system, design enemy behaviors, and improve animation. It's not known how many workers in these companies actually helped, though. Obsidian has recently released Avowed and is working on the Outer Worlds 2 DLCs, while the Coalition is busy with Gears of War E-Day. In any case, time will tell whether UNDEAD Labs will be able to release State of Decay 3 early in 2026 or not. State of Decay 3 is set to release on Xbox Series X and PC. Like all of the other video games in development under the Xbox Game Studio publishing wing, State of Decay 3 will launch Day 1 on the Xbox Game Pass subscription service, and is expected to be available via Xbox Cloud Gaming like its predecessor, State of Decay 2. The initial announcement trailer was no more than a CG trailer, but it gave us a taste of a very cold world filled with hordes of zombified wildlife. The trailer kicks off with a woman sitting beside a campfire, sharpening an improvised crossbow bolt. A wolf approaches. She lets out a guttural scream, and it retreats from sight. Later, during the day, she's hunting on a snowy hillside and sees the wolf being eaten by a deer. Looking through her crossbow scope, she sees the deer raise its head, and we see that half of its face has rotted off. The latest trailer hits a bit harder, introducing us to a few characters living among the pine trees, trying to survive the best they can by killing zombies and scavenging weapons, dashing to each other's aid in a desperate bid to keep everyone alive. It does capture the essence of State of Decay, especially how quickly people can be lost to the violent zombie hordes that amplify as the game ramps up. We also get a glimpse of the Screamer, and right at the end, a Juggernaut lumbering towards the group who are attempting an escape. We've still not really seen all that much in the way of State of Decay 3 gameplay, but the studio is aiming to deliver the new ultimate in-zombie survival simulation. As for what the next evolution in State of Decay will ultimately look like, a podcast from Xbox's Major Nelson back in 2022 revealed that the game is being developed in Unreal Engine 5, with UNDEAD Labs collaborating with Gears of War developer The Coalition to get the most out of the platform. State of Decay 2 was a survival simulation which let you navigate a zombie apocalypse by shaping your own community of survivors, managing resources, and establishing defenses against a surmounting horde of undead intruders. An Xbox Wire post following the Xbox Game Showcase 2024 detailed that State of Decay 3 is set to build on those foundations in a much larger, truly shared open world. features from previous installments will be making a comeback, with a greater emphasis put on permadeath to really drive the idea that a community member has been lost. The June 2024 Xbox Wire post also detailed that UNDEAD Labs is collaborating with Obsidian Entertainment, the studio behind co-op game Grounded, to bring to life the shared world feature and enable more flexible online co-op. State of Decay 3 might have been announced in 2020, but it was later reported that the game was still in pre-production as of 2022. This news came out as part of an investigation into developer UNDEAD Labs' workplace culture, in which studio staff put forward allegations of sexism, bullying, and burnout to reporters at Kotaku. Following these reports, it had been quiet on the State of Decay 3 front for quite some time, before a fresh trailer dropped for the game during the Xbox Game Showcase in summer 2024. Most recently, the studio has revealed a logo change, with a dev diary shedding light on an increased headcount on the team, which is now 6 times larger than it was for the first State of Decay. Though the first in the series is a beloved survival game, State of Decay 2 released with a myriad of issues, including many bugs, and while they were eventually ironed out, fans of the games felt the second offering lacked the story beats and character interactions that made the initial game so good. It also experienced its fair share of online co-op issues, as it didn't have cross-progression and gave friends joining your game little to no incentive to help you out or experience the world together. That being said, State of Decay 2 did end up in pretty good shape, and hopefully, it laid down a more concrete path for State of Decay 3 to follow. It does seem like the new trailer addresses what was missing from the original story, the camaraderie and in-depth characters we can get behind. We're also hoping that the breakdown mode is present, whether as an extra mode, a DLC, or baked into the campaign in some way.